To see the last time the moon cast its darkest shadow over mainland Spain, you have to look back to this cyanotype from 1905. The rest of mainland Europe had been waiting since the summer of 1999. That quarter-century gap created immense pent-up demand, raising the stakes for the August 2026 event. Solar eclipses usually happen high in the sky. To see one, you look up. This was a sunset eclipse. To see it, you had to look straight ahead. By the time totality reached Spain, the sun was hovering between 12 and just 3 degrees above the horizon. At that angle, basic geography becomes a hazard. A single hill, a tree, or an apartment building easily blocks the entire view. Despite that risk, nearly 500,000 extra visitors poured into the country, gambling thousands of dollars on a sliver of land, hoping for a clear sightline to the west. The 2026 eclipse became a high-risk geographical lottery. Your specific location meant the difference between witnessing an astronomical rarity or staring at a shadow on a wall. The shadow began its journey in the high Arctic, sweeping southwest across the ice of Greenland and out into the North Atlantic. Over the ocean, 44 kilometers west of Iceland, the eclipse hit its maximum duration, 2 minutes and 18 seconds of totality. Iceland itself had the safest viewing angle in Europe, a solid 22 degrees up in the sky. But the local meteorology refused to cooperate, blanketing the island in rain and heavy clouds. Even masked by the storm, the effect was jarring. 20,000 extra visitors gathered in Reykjavik, and as the sky suddenly went pitch black in the middle of the day, the crowds still roared in awe. The northern latitudes proved a harsh lesson for eclipse chasers. Astronomical perfection means nothing if a rainstorm rolls in. The shadow finally made landfall in Galicia, sweeping over the Roman-era Tower of Hercules in A Coruña. Its arrival triggered one of the largest peacetime safety operations in Spanish history. The economic influx was massive. In a single week, those 446,000 extra visitors injected nearly 347 million euros into the local economy. But this happened in mid-August. The country was simultaneously battling a heat wave with temperatures over 35 Celsius, while firefighters were suppressing dry season wildfires. To manage the chaos, the government deployed over 33,000 officers across the sparsely populated interior to handle an estimated 1.5 million extra car journeys. The shadow's passage across the peninsula converted an astronomical event into an immediate test of Spain's road networks and emergency services. The visual climax happened as the sun sank to just 3 degrees over Palma de Mallorca, plunging the Mediterranean into an eerie premature twilight. This timing aligned with the declining phase of solar cycle 25. The sun's atmosphere, or corona, was active, throwing out strong, asymmetric streamers of plasma. Because the star's magnetic field is constantly shifting, this exact shape of the corona is a unique snapshot. We will never see this specific configuration again. Since solar eclipses only happen during a new moon, the sky was moonless and dark. Viewers were treated to bright planets like Venus and Jupiter shining near the blacked-out sun, right as the Perseid meteor shower peaked overhead. But the low-hanging spectacle came with intense paranoia. Rumors of counterfeit ISO safety classes flooded social media, sending hundreds of panicked people rushing to emergency rooms. The medical reality was far less severe. Doctors confirmed the influx was driven by psychological anxiety, and across the initial national tallies, there were no confirmed cases of permanent retinal burns. The low sunset geometry produced a stark 360-degree horizon glow, even as it triggered a nationwide wave of public paranoia. For the people who traveled there, 2026 left a lasting mark. It turned casual vacationers into dedicated umbrophiles, eclipse chasers willing to spend upwards of $10,000 to stand in the shadow again. The 2026 event started an unusual sequence, a freak alignment granting Spain 3 solar eclipses in under 2.5 years. Compare that to the UK. To see totality from British soil, you face a wait until September 23, 2090. If you missed the 2026 event, you have an immediate second chance. Book your accommodation now for August 2nd, 2027. It crosses southern Spain and offers over 6 full minutes of darkness. Just make sure you source legitimate ISO 12312-2 glasses from vetted sellers. Don't risk your eyesight on an unverified printed label. Chasing these shadows requires navigating chaotic logistics, paying premium prices, and crossing your fingers against fickle weather. But standing under a blackened sun is a gamble you cannot afford to skip in a normal lifetime.